This is the one. All right, welcome to Retro Rewind Podcast, Modern Monday Plays. I'm still sort of working on how to introduce this segment, but I'm for now calling it Streams, Pods, and God, where I answer your questions about podcasting, streaming, and being a Christ follower, which is what I am. So I'm a layperson. I'm not like I don't have a Master of Divinity or anything like that, but I like thinking about God, talking about God, and as well as I really love podcasting and streaming. So if you have any questions about any of those topics, whether it's technical aspects or more theoretical aspects, I'd love to get your questions. You can leave them in the comments below. You can find me on social media at FXRUIZX or at Retro Rewind Pod, and I will answer those when I play my streams on Monday. So the first question I had came from Celeste, and this is actually a question from last week, which I didn't get to. And she asked, what people did I learn podcasting from, if I remember her question correctly. And the first person I learned podcasting from was a person named, he goes by the podcast Answer Man, at least he used to. But his name is Cliff Ravenscraft, and he's who I first learned about podcasting from. And him and a person he mentored named Pat Flynn. And so I was listening to his show, the podcast Answer Man, for a long time. And it really helped when I first started my first podcast, and I learned about other podcasters who do podcasts about podcasting, very meta, through his show and just trying to learn from other people. Currently, the main sources I learn about podcasting and the podcasting space from is Ray Ortega, who's at Podcast Helper on social media, or his website is the Podcaster's Studio. See, it's helpful to have this catapult, especially with only a wooden fort. And it's also nice having all those archers. Anyway, so Ray Ortega, the Podcaster Studio, and he has, for the last couple years now, he started this show called the Podcasters Roundtable, which is where him and Dave Jackson, who's another big person in the podcasting about podcasting space, he runs School of Podcasting, and Daniel J. Lewis, who took a break and is starting to do again, the Audacity podcast. The three of them are the main people doing the Podcasters Roundtable, but then they actually, you're able to put yourself on a list to be a guest, and they're always trying to have something they call new roundtablers joining them. And for a while, they were talking about very specific topics, but now they sort of do a pool news approach, so they'll all have different topics that they bring in podcasting news to discuss. So I find that very helpful just to keep current with podcasting. Geek Devotion says he loves the Audacity podcast. Yeah, I definitely listened to some of his when there were core things I needed that I couldn't find other places, to Daniel's podcast. For whatever reason, I found, even though he's not as consistent, I find a bit more... I just like the flavor of Podcaster Studio, Ray Ortega's podcast more. I really love Cliff's Ravenscraft's podcast, but it got a bit too business and marketing focused and just like leadership focused, and that's not what I was really looking for. I think that I haven't listened to it in a long time. I don't know if he's gone back or where it's at. Look at those crops. They're ready to be harvested. Hopefully tomorrow they'll harvest. And then I get money from it. It's great. So those are the main places I learn about podcasting from now. So again, there was Podcasters Roundtable, which is at podcastersroundtable.com, and the Podcaster Studio, thepodcasterstudio.com. I'm pretty sure there's a the there. It may just be podcasterstudio.com. Anyway, that was the first question. I have a question from chat here from Geek Devotions. Do you have a record rig for when you're not recording in your studio, like a RetroCon or something? No, and this actually starts me. Thank you for the segue, Dallas/Geek Devotions, because the next question I had was, what is my gear for podcasting? What do I use to podcast? And really, when I went to the Portland Retro Gaming Expo, the only thing I took with me was Paul had his iPad, but I had this, which is a digital audio recorder. If you're a patron of the podcast, you'll often hear me say the DAR in our pre-show outtakes. This is what the DAR is. It has like I think I have a 4 gigabyte. Let's see if I can upgrade my thing here. I can't upgrade any further. I guess that's because it's the first level. I have a 4 gigabyte micro SD card in here, which gives me, I can choose between MP3 or WAV format. MP3, you get a lot more recording time. I use WAV though, so there's no compression since the end product on the podcast will be compressed. So I use WAV. You also have a low cut filter and auto levels, which I don't use, but I use the low cut. Anyway, so this is what this is what I take when I go places to record, which is very few and far between. Oh, I forgot I built a tower guy. That's awesome. Anyway, which is very few and far between, but this is what I use for that. But I also use it for my main show to record into. This is the main thing I take audio from. If this fails, like battery goes out or for some reason this doesn't work, I usually have a backup either from the Twitch stream or YouTube when we used to do that. But this is key. This and this microphone, which is a Samson Q2U. Funny thing, Zoom and Samson are both owned by the same company. I forget which one's the parent, but they're both out of Japan. No wonder the circuit failed. It says made in Japan. What are you talking about, Doc? All the best stuff's made in Japan. I agree. It is. So Samsung Q2U microphone, digital audio recorder, which is a Zoom H1 recorder. I also use a Mackie 802 VLZ4 mixer. I had the 402 VLZ3 prior to this when I first got, which was my first mixer, and you probably want to see me play some games, not just stand there. You know what? I think I'm gonna. Oh well, I don't know. That's right. I wanted to push my empire all the way to where the greed is, where the home of the greed. So let me clear some more trees so that we can start doing that. Let's see. Geek Devotions. It's a darling little device. You're hilarious there, Geek Devotions. Let's get some more recruits. Because once I clear this forest, I won't have access to these recruits anymore. So let's get as many of them as I can. So the mixer is very helpful for... It's allowed me so much flexibility in terms of mixing all sorts of audio, whether it's streaming stuff. So I can be streaming... Essentially, when I do audio from the computer, it's going into the mixer, then back out to you guys. When I'm doing audio from my SNES Mini, the SNES Mini goes into my next piece of gear, the Game Capture HD from Elgato, which then goes out to our home audio receiver and projector, and then out from the receiver back into the mixer, which then goes out to you guys. So that's how I do it when I'm playing SNES Quest streams. Let's see, other bits. I have this Dragon Pad pop filter. I'm actually thinking my mic technique is good enough that I don't need it really anymore. I'd probably be okay with a windscreen and be nice not to have this huge thing on my boom arm, which is what this is. I forget who the boom arm is by. It's just like a $30 special. It's starting to wear out. It's not like a nice Rode or Heil boom arm, but it does the job for now. And then let's see, what else do I have? On my camera that you get to see my lovely face through is a Logitech C920, which is one of the popular webcams from Logitech for podcasting and streaming. And I think those are the main bits of equipment I use for podcasting and streaming. There's lots of other like XLR cables and 3.5 to 1/4 millimeter jacks, stuff like that. But those are the core pieces of equipment I use. Let's see. Geek Devotions asked, "What is your setup? What in your setup allows you to split the audio so that you can adjust everyone's volume, even when recording via Skype Hangout?" Well, I don't. There is a program you can use for Skype called, I think it's Call Audio Recorder, that actually does allow you to do that. Oh crap! See, now the greed's has masked greed and just a lot more guys coming at me. So it's good to have my a lot more archers and also the catapult. Anyway, yeah, really what I have to do is, whether it's you Geek Devotions on the stream or someone else, what I'm doing is I am trying to level everyone out, because everyone that's coming in from the computer is going into one channel on my mixer, which, in case you're curious, is channel 3 and 4. And that's what I use for all the computer audio, whether it's the trailer, which is why when if I forget to turn off the aux input, which can keep you guys from going back into the computer and hearing an echo, if I keep that up for the trailers, when I'm doing the trailers, that's why you hear an echo. And usually Paul's saying, echoing, and so I have to turn that down. But yeah, I actually don't have a way to have you all on separate tracks. That would be amazing if I could do that, but I do not have that capacity. Oh yeah, I need to clear more trees. I don't know why I'm singing Superman. So not a great answer to your question, Geek Devotions, but that's the answer. So if anyone else has questions about podcasting, streaming, or about just my personal walk with Christ or Christianity in general, I will do my best to answer those. Again, I'm a layperson when it comes to that, but feel free to ask. I'll give you guys like a couple more minutes to ask those if you so care to. So care to? That's not what you say. Geek Devotions. So if we aren't separate, how'd you level us out? I ask you guys to either turn yourselves up or Paul up, or Paul to turn himself down. That's pretty much the only way I have. And then I'm just sort of listening by ear and also looking on my DAR to see if the little level indicators, I'm looking for them to go into all, when you're talking normal, to be at about -12. It used to be -6. I recently learned from, where did I learn this from? I think it was from, was it Audacity podcast? Or maybe it was a streamer. No, it was actually someone I was learning about streaming from on YouTube. Most of the people I learned streaming from is over on YouTube. But they're saying you want to get your levels to about -12, and so that you have plenty of room. Whoa, get out of here, because I don't think I'm behind my walls. Ugh. Get back behind the walls. I don't think I have. So, what I was saying was I was shooting for -6 a while ago, but that causes a lot of distortion when everyone gets loud. So that's why now I know to have it at -12, then my program can just amplify everything, and there won't be any added noise from that, ideally. Greece will actually be the first episode where I've done this, so we'll see how it turns out. And that should come out this Wednesday. If you're listening to this in the future, that would be July, what's today? The 16th, 17th? 16th, I think, so July 18th, 2018. Let's see. Geek Devotions. In your theology discussions... get back here, Hammerman. Man, Alar, come. In your theology discussion, you always share your religious background, but I'm not sure you've shared with us your story of how you came to Christ. Can you share that story? Of course I can. I said, Jesus, I believe in you. And there it is. Your Honor, I'd like to presume the witness is a hostile witness. I'm not sure what the legalese for saying that is. I'm sure they say it better. Aaron Sorkin, write me my dialogue, because I'm sure I could say it better. Anyway, no, it happened in a few stages, and I think we did cover this in one of the bonus episodes. And what Dallas is talking about is patrons of the podcast, and also people who have subscribed on Twitch get access to a bonus content feed where for the past 30 some odd episodes we've been talking about theological spiritual topics that relate to the movies we cover. So I'll get to your answer in a second, Dale, or your question in a second, Dale. To answer Dallas's question, though, which I think I covered in one of those, but maybe not, is the first stage of my becoming a Christian happened in a VBS, Vacation Bible School, which I think I was 7 or 8. And it's weird. It was just this, we were doing an art project where we were creating, there are these, I guess, like wall-mounted candle holders or something. It was like this balsa wood with sort of a long balsa wood piece with a like a hole cut out of the center of it for something to show through. And what we were doing, the kids, me included, we were just making a drawing. I don't know if it's supposed to relate to the Bible teaching that we learned. So long ago, I don't remember exactly. But the art I made was this cross, which each part of the cross was made out of a heart, and I colored those blue. And then I created these like light rays coming out of where the hearts met. So if you think of a cross, and then you think of if you were to put an X behind it, that's where I made the light rays. And those were like gold or yellow or something. And for some reason, I looked at, I have this impression that I looked at that and I just sort of knew there was something true about God, whether it was because there was beauty or creativity or something. I'm not exactly sure. Let's see if I can build this before it gets too late. I'm not sure what exactly it was, but that was my first stage in really trusting God or believing in God. And then after that, it was a confirmation class I did when I was 12 at my Presbyterian church. We did, if for those that don't know, confirmation class is where you learn about church history a little bit, mainly if you're raised in Presbyterian or Catholic or more traditional denominations. You'll learn about that denomination, and then you'll go before your church and say, you'll similar to being baptized, I guess. You'll ask you questions. You'll answer, yes, I believe in God, I believe in these creeds, etc. So that's stage 2. Stage 3, that's where I was like, yes, I am a Christian. I know it in my head. But stage 3, let me drink some water. Stage 3 for me came in college when I met this guy. He was going to be in the same dormitory as me. His name was Paul Powers. And he was a youth pastor, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And I still remember when he came in, and me and our other roommates were talking. He was wearing like this sort of off blue shirt and like jean shorts, and he seemed like cool. But the longer we lived together, we'd often talk about God and movies and what it meant to like really. Like, I would ask him all these speculative questions, the type of questions I ask on our bonus content episodes. Like, what do you think about, why is there so much pain in the world? Or what if Neo is like Jesus? Or just, it could be very serious or very silly. Okay, let's try to clear some more wood. But it was really in those conversations where I felt like my faith was really, really grounded and fleshed out, and where I was like, "Yep, this is not just my parents' religion. This is my religion. This is my faith." So that is my 3-step journey. Just like a true pastor has 3 points to his preacher, to his message. I had 3 stages to my what do you call that? My journey to becoming a Christian. Okay, back to Dale's question now. How does God help you in your venture with podcasting? He puts, how do I provision, providence, putting people in my life that can help, putting, let's see, what else? Just having people, I guess, guiding people to find the show that love it and have found such joy in it. People that I had no idea they were out there. And I love that we get to enrich other people's lives and yeah, just share the joy that me and Paul have in our friendship with other people. I think that's... So how has God helped in the venture with podcasting? I mean, really, he makes it possible. If he wasn't... I would assume if he wasn't in it, it would have gone the way of the dodo a long time ago. I don't have any hard and fast, well, this is how he is. I mean, he's definitely provided enough to the point where it pays for itself, which is amazing. Even more, a little bit more than that. Yeah. Provision and guidance, I think, would be how I answer that, Dale. Let's see. Yeah, those fun. They are cool. I agree. Geek Devotion, it's always cool to hear stories from VBS having an impact on a kid's life. I feel like VBS gets a bad rep sometimes. That's true. It probably does. We're putting in my kids in all the VBSs that are available around our area, because I think it is very valuable, and they probably get different things from different VBSs. Geek Devotions, haha, love that story about Paul. Reminds me of the stories I hear from Chi Alpha campus missionaries. Super cool to hear that too. Yeah, I remember that oh geez, they were scaling the wall right there. They're really close, guys. I need more archers because they are like they've broken the walls. So what they'll do is take out my peasants and steal their stuff, and now they're stealing coins. That's why they're called the greed. And hopefully enough will do that where they'll just leave me alone. Okay, I did have one more wall to get through. Man. Fortunately, I'm flush with coins, but still. Okay, let's build this wall back up. This is why you need stone walls. My goodness. Okay, let's really get all the archers. Archers en masse. I totally forgot what I was saying before that, but regardless. VBS good. Oh yeah, the Chi Alpha Ministries. Yeah, I knew of it. I wasn't really engaged in that. I think because I was kind of an introvert, so doing some more of a group dynamic like that was something I would have been less inclined to do. Oh, I forgot I have this guy. So when you build the fort, you have this little like accountant. You have your own fort CPA. Essentially what he does is he stores money so you can actually get it on a rainy day if you run out of funds, which is very helpful. Okay, and since I have tons of money, in fact I can ask this guy to go. And my wife is home. Hey, Christine. Let's see. Yeah, so any other questions, guys? Those were some awesome ones. Thank you so much for participating and asking those. Oh, I was going to get tons of archers. Archers up the yin-yang. I actually have to hold it down, Francisco. Oh. To try to fix the contacts on the walkie-talkies. One works. I'm not sure if the other one will work, though. Oh, Geek Devotions. Wow. That's very kind of you. Why are you guys so amazing? Yes, ask God. That's the perfect answer, Dale. That is the perfect answer. I mean, how would you answer that? How are you guys so amazing, Dallas, Celeste, and Dale? Answer me. Okay, well, we'll end it there. So thank you so much for watching this segment of Streams, Pods, and God from the Retro Rewind podcast and Retro Rewind Plays, Playing Kingdom here. If you have a question for next time, please leave it in the comments below or tweet me or contact me through other social media. Join our Discord at retrorewindpodcast.com/Discord. That's another great place to leave questions. And actually, you know what? I just realized I never double checked Facebook if anyone left them there.